Just gonna hide a bunch of stuff. All right. Now, let's see how you guys think about this. All right. So here's your Friday. And as you guys know, we talked about this, right? Last time that we were trading, we went below the low when we said that, if they reclaim that, high chance that they're going to run it to the opposite end, right? We were targeting somewhere around 49.50 or so. And they did that, right? So now when you look at this price action, right? When you look at this, what's happening, right? We're in a downtrend so far. Balance, we were slowing down a little bit, right? We were building that, I would say, 3-day balance here that we had, and then we spiked higher, right? My question to you is this really a strong short cover rally here? This right here? I'm on 65-minute candles.
No.
All right, tell me the reasons why.
No higher high. I'd say because it already immediately looks like they're going to try and keep it inside a balance that they've been in. Just draw your rectangle right through that area.
So if you're breaking out of something, right? If it's a short cover rally, first thing is that they probably should have, cracked of this level here. Let me just grab this line. But you think they should have, had a massive body candle over it. The only candle that was worth tempting here on this day is this one, right? You guys agree?
Rest, no volume.
What about that?
Yeah.
Does that click? Okay. But now think about the remaining, right? So this is your first, this is your, I'm on 65 minutes typically, but, I switched to 1 hour so people don't get confused. 65-minute gives you a perfect breakdown, a number of candles that you have here. But here's your 1 hour candle. What do you notice about the 1 hour candles after this candle? Like, ignore this. What about this? Does this look like confident buying?
No.
No.
Hell no.
No, this does not look like confident buying. So when I was talking, about the extension that we had, yeah, I think it was a great way to punish some of the, the late shorts that came in. And, I certainly expected that. And that's why we said there was a level that we were targeting. If we reclaim it, I believe at that point, let me see, I can tell you here. It was this one here, the 66, 67 level. Remember, we talked about it. If we reclaim this, we can just take off, and we were targeting that 39 level at one point. I think 39 to, sorry, I'm blanking. I think it was 39 to 45 because they were single prints.
But it was 44, yep.
Yeah, somewhere around here. I forgot where, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'll find it. But anyways, it was 39.44. We were targeting that, right? But then they did something pretty interesting, right? So if you look at these, this is not really a confident auction, guys. And you have to look at it, just kind of from neutral perspective, right? What is market telling you? Well, you can look at it on daily, and here's your daily, right? So you have a pretty good sell-off. Is there a chance? Is this the bottom? Who knows, right? People that tell you that it's the bottom, they're lying because nobody knows, right? So now what can you expect, right? Well, we can certainly expect them to come back to this level. Let's say they crack the, the high of the day tomorrow. Let's say this was like 46 or whatever. If they crack that and they stay out of that balance, right? Let's say they leave the balance that we're in, the 48 balance, and they go upside. Yeah, I would say most likely we can target this level here because that would be the first time we're retesting this zone. But that would be a retest from the bottom. And typically what you're going to find out here is that you're going to come to this level. And what can you expect? What are the two things that happen here?
A reject or a look above and fail?
Very good, yeah. So you can have look above and continue where you get accepted inside of this value. And ultimately you would target this, right? The all-time highs. If they get inside in here, so peek inside and basically get dumped, that's a different level, and then most likely you can target somewhere. I think I'm on the H, so probably somewhere around 51, 52, 42 is a big level, because that's our POC that we're watching somewhere around here. So I'll definitely target that because that would be most likely we would crack this low and then proceed higher. Okay, does that make sense so far? So I didn't see anything on Friday that would be like, okay, the buyers are here. I didn't see any of that, guys. And this price action on Friday, just to kind of give you a clue, right? So if you think about this, the whole thing here was 84 points. After the first hour of trading, right? Let's see how much range you guys had. You had 37 points for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Typically, you want to keep going. And now we're just going to look into the market profile and see what is that telling you, because market's profile is giving you some hints on this, what they just did on Friday, right? So let's take a look at it. I'm going to hide this. All right. I'm going to lower or increase this, sorry, here to about 4. All right. What does this profile look like?
A P?
Yeah. Anyone else?
B.
Yeah. It looks like a
Double destroyer.
well, it looks like a P shape, right? But is there anything odd about this P shape?
There's
The
a spike at the
axis on the
top.
top?
Yep, we know we have the spike, right? So we had the spike for new folks, right? That means the last 30 minutes, the price made higher highs. So that means the next session, which is our Monday, we're gonna find out if that price here was accepted or rejected, which gives you a really, really good setup. But we'll get into it. Just pay attention to this, this blue, the prior week value area high, where it's at. You guys see anything cool? Anyone?
We are in
Look,
balance.
composite value area high.
Yeah, so your prior week value area high is aligned perfectly with spike. So if they open above it and they fail, you shouldn't have much to think about, right? You could probably target this 20 here, and then ultimately I would target this green zone, and then all the way to the bottom of this POC 5569 will probably be tapped, which would be probably, it is our prior week value area low. So I wouldn't be shocked, and this week is packed. You have OPEX. I think there's some other news
FOMC on Wednesday.
on the Wednesday. So this is a Fed week too. So you have OPEX plus a Fed week. So it
Yeah.
should be some fireworks, right?
That's
But
week's expiry on Tuesday.
yeah, so we should see some really unwinding of trades probably Tuesday if VIX is expiring. It'll start Tuesday, and then Wednesday FMOC. OPEX is gonna be a pretty heavy and probably a hard week to trade. If you ever want to size down to your bare minimum, I would say this is your week to size down. What else is odd about the P shape? I want somebody to nail it. I'm zooming in.
Kind of a ledge and a single print in the middle. And a lot of CPOs like in a row at the bottom.
The bottom piece. So when we have a P shape and you have a short cover rally, do they really think about this too much here? Should they?
Normally it's excess, no?
No, it should be all single prints. All of this should be single prints here. If you want a nice P shape profile that indicates that you're rejecting the price here, we don't want to spend a lot of time here, right? And they did, right? And then they created basically a double distribution with the P shape with a spike on the top. And the spike came in right above the high of that 4, if you want to call it 4, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4-day balance, right? So this is your high of that balance. They peaked above it. And tomorrow, if they reject this, what does that M mean on the top? What does it become? Right now, it's treated as a spike. But if we reject it tomorrow, what does it become?
Excess.
Excess high.
it becomes your access high, right? That means you found the sellers, right? That means that this selling profile here that we had, you know, kind of regular lowercase b, right? Because we have a little bit of bottom bounce. If they can't accept this right here, if they can't break this, well, then, you know, they have no business trading higher. So for me, this is going to be a huge, huge setup. And it might be the one where you get in here and you do not move your trail, because if you move your trail, you might miss, you know, on something really, really potentially a good position, right? So if they do something like this, let's say you do a trade somewhere around here, and I would probably target somewhere like this. What's wrong with this trade?
Wow, that's a big one.
And you just take one MES if you're afraid and do not move. Just let it see if it works out. If you start moving stuff, that means you don't trust yourself. You don't trust the setup. Let it go. If it fails, that's fine. You accept this risk, whatever that is. And if it hits, it's going to be a nice hit, right? Because it's 3.5 to 1 trade. I would definitely keep an eye on this tomorrow. Not saying it happens. It just matters where we open in relationship to spike. And that's going to be it. But this here does not bring a lot of confidence along with that late, right? They did have a sell-off, and I don't know where we are. We'll check in a second where we are. But, you know, we reached that level. I was targeting 49.50, but they came very close, 3/4 of a point. They came there, and then I think somebody shorted. I think somebody swung short from that level as well. I was short. Actually got stopped for a loss, but it doesn't look very bullish, guys. And there's a lot of reasons why it's not, right? I'm not saying this is the bottom or not the bottom, but tomorrow if they can't get over this level, the spike in the prior week value area high, it's setting up for a decent short and continuation, right? So the OPEX, right, and then FMOC. If FMOC has any no cuts in the rates conversations, there might be some more bloodbath. And then if they do have it, the cut rates, that usually is followed by blood. So I don't know how this is going to play out in the long term. To me, it seems like, you know, the Fed is pressed in a corner at the moment a little bit. And it'll be interesting how they handle it, right? Because they talked about soft landing for what, 4 years now? And I think this is the moment of truth, right? Soon coming up, especially with stock market. Seems like somebody wants it down, because then it would force the rate on the cuts to be justified, in my opinion. And a lot
Also,
of people.
Shorty,
Mhm.
you have 6 trillion expiry, so the gamma will move it to one side violently, whatever be that side is.
It's 6 trillion.
Yeah.
Wow. So I would say tread lightly, but if they open above this and lose this spike, guys, this is a pretty good setup, right? Is there levels where they can bounce? Yeah. The first level. And when you have a P shape, should you have a lot of single prints dividing 2 areas? If I tell you that I don't like the price here, but I'm gonna build here and then I'm gonna go higher, did you really not like the price here? If you had to recheck a lot? No, you did not. You liked the price, and then emotional buyers came in and pushed the price. That's what this is indicating here. So it's not very bullish. So if we do short at the top, and let's say you're itching to take some profits, I would certainly target somewhere around 5609, and then you would also have this value area low at 5603. And this was a big level. 5603 was pretty massive level. Let me see if I can go back. Let's switch it up a little bit. So, but this is happening as we speak, guys. Oh, never mind. I'm not on ETH. Sorry. Well, oh wow, it is happening as we speak. Oh my. Did anyone short this? Oh my god. Oh, this is a good chance here.
Yeah, I'm still in it.
Good job. Oh, that's a bummer, man. That's a pretty good short. Yeah, so you see now they're dancing on these single prints. There's a high chance they're going to be defending it tonight. Probably push to 25. That might be a good short for overnight short if you're not short here. It's short 25. You might have to play it, you know, a little bit strictly here, maybe 5.25 points. And then if they do give us a retest here on this level, I'll make sure I have some limit sell orders here for overnight. Let me just delete a bunch of these brushes. Okay. Does it make sense why I think it's, a little bit of a weak short cover rally, why I'm expecting this to play out, and where you can take profits is the single print zone here. If we lose this, let's say 5603, guys, it's going to be a really, really quick, probably dump all the way to about 5580 or so. There's going to be a pretty big drop here. 5577 to 80 will be fast. And then from there to here is going to be maybe some traps that they could execute here and then stay in balance, something like this, right? There we go here. So I'll keep an eye on this. These are the main levels for me. If the bulls can't reclaim this level, guys, tomorrow, know that this is high odds that we're going to do the 80% on weekly. And I would just size down and let it rip. Let it dump to your level. Okay. It should be a fairly straight week until Wednesday. And then I would tighten up a little bit, Don't expect a lot probably on Monday. Tomorrow we might not catch a lot unless they give you tonight, which seems like a lot of people probably got some already. That was an excellent short.
Shorty, would you say Friday is like an open test drive?
Let me see. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you
Yeah,
look
right.
at
It looks like one, but yeah,
yeah.
overlapped. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you opened when you went higher, you rejected, and then you can continue. Yeah, it's definitely open test and continue. It would have been open, open reject if they did what?
Fill the gap.
They filled the gap, right? If they cracked
Yeah.
the open and they went below, that would have been open reject. So yeah, you're right.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep, so I would watch on this spike, guys. And spike just indicates this letter M period right here. You guys see, I'll split it so you guys can see a little bit better. It's just indicating that we came in the last period, right? And we had some probabilities lined up in our way, right? So if you guys look at this, was market telling you anything before the spike happened?
Yeah, that L tried to make a higher high, but almost.
Yeah, so here they came and failed, right? But then the whole day they're pressuring and holding this, right? We took a short somewhere around here, I believe. But then you see them coming back to it, and it's almost like a poor structure at the top, like a failed auction, and then the M came in and they cleaned up, right? And ran higher. But what really spike tells you is if you look at these levels, if you look at the levels here, it's where M makes a higher high compared to any other letters on the left side. And these letters that I'm kind of showing you here for new folks is just a period, right? Each letter represents 30 minutes. So don't overcomplicate it. And you see the candles, right? Now I'm on 30 minutes right here. And you're able to see here now on the bottom, you're going to have A, B, and C trading, right? So here's your A, here's your B, right? And then here's your C period, right? And C period makes the higher high. And usually, what did I say? If a C makes higher high, what do we do?
Go
We
with it.
continue in that direction.
Most likely it's going to continue. Rarely do they, of course they can trap you, but typically they will continue, right? And that's exactly what they did. And you see where your single prints are now sitting right here, the bottom of this one. So they spent too much time here on the bottom to be a P, but then you see here, right? Let me see if I can just hide the candles for a moment. We got the levels on, so here's this. Is there at any point that, where the value started shifting for you guys? Yes, they shifted it here higher. Was there at any point where the value shifted a little bit down? And which letter started that? Which period?
Maybe in the I period.
Yeah, that's correct. The I period was starting to shift the value down. So you have a lower high and you have a lower low, and then the J period did the same. Then you see them rejecting this bottom value, right? And they're kind of trying to stay above it here. And you see the M period coming in right at the POC and holding that. So now if they're not able to hold the single prints, guys, it's gonna be a really nice trade and pretty fast here to the bottom. Because they're trying to shift value, you know, when you think about this, they're trying to shift it into the next gear. And if you look here, right, this was the expansion. They're most likely going to go back to this level, 57.25, if we are able to break this balance here. There's not going to be much time spent here, but most likely this area right here, and then they're going to knock, see if they get accepted, probably go to here. If they accept it, go here. If they fail, then you know it could certainly be a big dump as well from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any
Yep.
questions from anyone? This should be fairly simple week, guys, for trading. It should be much easier than last week. I would say last week was not the easiest because a lot of people expected what?
Bounce.
They either expected a bounce and the bears were expecting lower prices. Here they gave them, but they trapped them, right? They trapped a lot of bears here, guys. And then, you know, this is a short cover rally, but it was being shut down here aggressively, guys. Typically, short cover rally would not have this lowercase stuff that we've seen. And the expansion should have been much higher than this previous day balance. They should have closed at least above it. They peaked above it and they closed inside it, right? That's not the best setup to go into the weekend. And I didn't see any tweets from our president, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Okay. All right, guys. Well,
When would you change the contract? Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no,
The
I'm gonna change my contract to ESM tomorrow after tomorrow.
Tuesday then. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, on Tuesday. Yeah. So, and it's roughly right now we're at what? We're at 56.68. And we are currently here, I think it's about 50 points. 56.16 to 52 points. Yeah. Difference here, 51.75, right? That's a pretty large difference between the contracts, right? So I wonder how they will treat it, honestly. Are they gonna try to sell it, the previous, and close it and buy it cheaper? That would be the most obvious thing to do, but who knows? Okay, guys. Well, I'll be on. I'll trade live. So let's see if we can get it off our back and make money quicker, and not hold as much as we can till Wednesday, because I think it's gonna be pretty volatile Wednesday. If you're a long portfolio, I would probably hedge a little bit going into Wednesday. Just pointers, right? I will be hedging probably with some VIX trade, and I'll also hedge a little bit more of my longer positions. Maybe sell some calls and inputs, right? See what I can do to offset in case they decide to do some crazy stuff. Okay. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night.
Thank you,
You
Shorty.
too. Thanks,
Thank
Shorty.
you.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you.
Shorty.